Did you know that crows are true geniuses? These remarkable birds exhibit intelligence on par with primates and even young children. They can recognize human faces, hold grudges, and remember those who treat them kindly or badly. But their skills go far beyond memory. Crows are one of the few non-human species to craft tools. They bend wires into hooks, shape leaves into scoops, and use sticks to fish out insects from tight crevices. Some species, like the New Caledonian crow, solve multi-step puzzles requiring foresight and planning. They cache food across hundreds of hiding spots and recall them months later. In group settings, they use complex vocal signals to communicate warnings, plan ambushes, or share news. These feathered masterminds have even been trained to distinguish shapes, colors, and sequences, demonstrating problem-solving ability that rivals a 5-year-old child. Did you know that we lose a total of 9 years of life on smartphone screens? Imagine this. According to research, the average person spends about 3 hours a day on their smartphone. Now multiply that over an entire lifetime. Let's say 72 years. It turns out that a whole 9 years of your life is spent staring at your phone screen. Can you imagine how much you could accomplish in that time? Traveling to new countries, learning multiple languages, or writing a book? There are endless possibilities. Next time you pick up your phone, remember you have 9 years you could live differently. Did you know the average person spends 6 months of their life at traffic lights? The average person spends around 6 months of their life waiting for red lights to turn green. This adds up from all the small stops we make at intersections and crosswalks every day. While it may seem like only a few seconds here and there, over a lifetime, it becomes a significant chunk of time. These moments of waiting remind us of the hidden rhythms of everyday life and how much time we spend on seemingly small things. Did you know you might have been answering the phone with ahoy? In the early days of the telephone, when Alexander Graham Bell introduced his invention, he suggested using ahoy as a greeting when answering calls. Inspired by nautical language, Bell thought it would be a perfect fit for the new way of communicating. Imagine if his idea caught on. We would all be saying ahoy every time we picked up the phone. However, Thomas Edison suggested the word hello, and it became the standard, leaving ahoy as a quirky piece of history. The oldest toy in the world is just a stick. Believe it or not, one of the oldest toys on Earth is simply a stick. For thousands of years, sticks have been used by people for all kinds of purposes, from simple play to the creation of complex tools. Children have used sticks in role-playing games, imagining them as swords, weapons, or magical wands. These simple yet versatile objects remain a staple in children's games even today. Their popularity is so great that in 2008, the United States even established a National Stick Day to celebrate the importance of the stick in toy history. Who would have thought that such a simple item could become part of our cultural heritage? Did you know sloths can hold their breath for ages? You might think of sloths as the slowpokes of the animal kingdom, but they have some pretty amazing skills too. One of their coolest tricks is the ability to hold their breath for up to 40 minutes. That's right. These laid-back creatures can dive underwater when they need to, which comes in handy for a couple of reasons. First, it helps them stay safe from predators, as they can slip into the water and disappear. But it's not just about hiding. This impressive breath-holding ability also lets sloths reach new food sources. They often live high up in trees, and sometimes they need to take a dip in the water below to munch on some tasty leaves or fruits. Sloths are perfectly adapted to their leisurely lifestyle, which includes moving slowly and spending most of their time hanging out in the treetops. So next time you see a sloth, remember they're not just about slow living. They've got some remarkable tricks up their furry sleeves when it comes to survival in the wild. Imagine a cobra warning you with a scent before striking. When a cobra spreads its sonic hood, it's not just for show, it's part of a multi-layered defense system. The dramatic display makes the snake appear larger and more menacing. But some species go even further. They secrete pheromone-rich saliva to signal territory or attract mates. And if that doesn't work, spitting cobras can eject venom up to 1.8 meters away, aiming for the eyes to cause temporary blindness and severe pain. This venom isn't just toxic, it's a precision chemical weapon. The cobra's combination of bluff, chemical warning, and physical defense makes it one of nature's most sophisticated survivalists. No other snake combines these tactics with such chilling elegance. Why is there a restaurant in Tokyo where real ninjas serve food? In Tokyo, there is a restaurant where waiters dress as ninjas, and it's wildly popular. The waiters perform tricks, vanish into thin air, and serve dishes with an air of mystery. The menu features exotic dishes served with an element of surprise, and every meal is accompanied by a show. It's not just a restaurant, it's a full adventure for those who have always dreamed of seeing ninjas in action. How would you react if you learned that the national motto of the USA is God helps? This might be surprising, especially in a country where there is no official state religion and freedom of worship is encouraged. The USA is a nation where everyone can choose their own faith, and the government does not interfere in these personal matters. Interestingly, the dollar is not just a currency, but a true icon of the global economy. Its printing is handled by only 12 banks, and the paper for the banknotes is produced by a single company, highlighting the significance of this currency on the world stage. Did you know Yellowstone is the world's first national park? Yellowstone National Park, established in 1872, was the first national park in the world. Located mostly in Wyoming, USA, it is a true natural wonder. The park is famous for its geysers, hot springs, and wildlife, and it sits atop a massive volcanic caldera. This makes it not only a beautiful, but geologically unique place on the planet. Yellowstone is Mother Nature's masterpiece, attracting millions of visitors each year. Can it be true Saudi Arabia imports camels from Australia? Yes, it's no mistake. Camels, once brought to Australia from the Middle East for farming and transportation, are now being exported back to Saudi Arabia. Camels have thrived in Australia's environment, and their population has grown significantly. Now they are exported back to the Middle East, where they are used for similar purposes. Surprisingly, Australia is now a global leader in camel exports. Who would have thought that these desert animals would complete such a unique historical cycle? Ever heard of Snake Island's deadly inhabitants? This Brazilian island, known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, is infamous for being home to the world's most venomous snake, the golden lancehead viper, or Bothrops insularis. Imagine a place where one snake can deliver a venom so potent that it can kill a human in just a few hours. That's why Brazilian authorities made the tough decision to ban access to the island, preserving both the safety of people and the unique ecosystem of these snakes. The golden lancehead is not only fascinating because of its deadly bite, but also due to its incredible adaptation. Over thousands of years, these vipers evolved in isolation, leading to distinctive traits unlike any other snake species. They primarily feed on the island's bird population, a meal made easy by their rapid and efficient hunting skills. So while the island is a dangerous spot for humans, it's a crucial habitat that highlights the importance of biodiversity and the delicate balance of nature. Visiting Snake Island is like stepping into a real-life thriller, but for now, only the snakes get to enjoy its unnerving beauty. Why is the world's only pink river dolphin unafraid of people? In the Amazon, there lives a unique pink dolphin that not only stands out for its unusual color, but also for its amazing courage. These dolphins often swim near people, and locals believe they have special magical powers. Ancient legends say pink dolphins can transform into humans and visit villages at night. Scientists have yet to confirm these stories, but the mystique and friendliness of these animals have made them symbols of Amazonian lore. Is it possible that wolves use howling as a GPS? More than haunting music of the wilderness, a wolf's howl is a survival tool of impressive sophistication. Each individual's voice carries unique frequency markers that other pack members instantly recognize, even from 16 kilometers away. But these calls do more than identify. They transmit complex information, warnings, location data, territorial markers, and rendezvous points. Wolves listen not just for the sound, but for its echoes, which tell them about surrounding terrain, obstacles, and safe paths. It's acoustic navigation, woven with social connection. Young wolves are taught to howl with precision, joining the chorus as apprentices of this sonic map. As wolves roam vast forests and mountains, howling serves as their GPS, walkie-talkie, and family thread all at once. Can you believe that 3% of Antarctica's ice is penguin urine? It may sound strange, but it's true. Scientists have determined that about 3% of Antarctic ice is made up of penguin urine. In the extreme cold of Antarctica, urine doesn't evaporate as it would in warmer climates. Instead, it remains on the surface and eventually freezes, becoming part of the ice. This unusual fact shows just how unique this continent is and how its natural conditions create truly unexpected phenomena. Is it true that vultures are eco-engineers with acid stomachs? These birds are nature's frontline sanitation workers. Vultures have stomach acid so powerful it can dissolve lethal pathogens like anthrax, cholera, and botulism without harming them. When a carcass starts rotting, vultures arrive to neutralize it, turning disease-ridden flesh into harmless biomass in hours. Their digestive system is so efficient that even their droppings are less toxic than many other scavengers. But there's more. Inside their guts lives a unique community of microbes that assist in breaking down putrid meat. Without vultures, ecosystems would suffer from carcass buildup, leading to bacterial outbreaks and vermin infestations. Conservationists now view vultures as keystone species, crucial to biodiversity and public health. Their decline in some regions has already led to spikes in disease. These misunderstood birds aren't grotesque. They're guardians of balance. Who would have thought the world's smallest fish is less than 1 centimeter long? The world's smallest fish, Podocypris progenetica, found in the waters of Indonesia, measures only 7.9 millimeters in length, less than 1/3 of an inch. Weighing just 4/1000ths of a gram, this transparent fish has no scales or teeth. It lives in peat swamps and feeds on plankton. Despite its tiny size, this fish faces significant threats from habitat loss and pollution, proving that even the smallest creatures play a vital role in the ecosystem. How about this? Dubai has an artificial archipelago in the shape of a world map. The world is an artificial archipelago consisting of 300 islands designed to mimic the outlines of all continents. Each island is intended for private homes or hotels, and owners can choose their country. This project reflects Dubai's ambition, creating incredible landmarks out of sand and water, making them iconic attractions in the region. How would you react if you found out that Las Vegas is the brightest place on Earth, visible even from space? This city has become the unofficial capital of gambling and casinos. Interestingly, the legalization of casino operations in Nevada was aimed at boosting the state budget, which needed funds for building schools. As a result, Las Vegas has transformed into a true cultural phenomenon, with its bright lights symbolizing not only the city, but also the entire American dream associated with risk-taking and entertainment. Ancient Roman firefighters and their unusual tactics. In ancient Rome, firefighting wasn't just about saving lives. It was a business. When a fire broke out, firefighters would rush to the scene, but they would only put out the flames if the property owner agreed on a price. This strange combination of urgency and negotiation shows just how different firefighting was back then compared to today. Back in those days, saving a building from flames required both money and quick decisions. Did you know that the number of slot machines in Las Vegas roughly equals the population of Nevada? Each year, these machines generate about $10 billion for the city's economy, highlighting the importance of casinos as a revenue source. Las Vegas is more than just entertainment. It is a massive industry that supports an entire state and significantly impacts the national economy. Why do cat whiskers really resemble antennas? Whiskers, technically called vibrissae, are far more than decorative features on a cat's face. These thick, stiff hairs are deeply embedded in nerve-rich follicles, making them ultra-sensitive to touch, airflow, and vibration. Found not only on the muzzle but also above the eyes, on the jaw, and even on the paws, whiskers help cats navigate tight spaces, hunt in darkness, and judge distances before leaping. They detect air currents around objects, giving cats a kind of sixth sense that lets them see with touch. When stalking prey, whiskers track the slightest movements, helping cats pinpoint the exact location of a target. During a jump, they act like gyroscopic sensors, helping with last-second mid-air corrections. In essence, whiskers are natural motion detectors and navigation tools, biological radar systems that turn every cat into a precision-controlled predator. The Royal Game of Ur is the oldest board game, over 4,000 years old. This ancient game was discovered during excavations in Mesopotamia and dates back to around 2600 BCE. Played by two players on a 20-square board, the game involved strategic moves with pieces that maneuvered around obstacles. It had a major influence on the development of future board games, demonstrating the strategic thinking of ancient civilizations. Just imagine how deep-rooted our love for games really is. Here's what's hidden in snail mucus. It acts as a signal. A snail's trail is more than just slippery slime. It's a rich communication system and multifunctional tool. The mucus acts as a lubricant, allowing snails to glide over rough terrain without injury and stick to vertical surfaces like walls or tree trunks. But more fascinatingly, snails embed chemical cues in the slime to guide others. These cues can signal paths to food or indicate readiness to mate. Other snails detect these pheromones and follow the trail like reading an invisible message. In tough environments, snails may even overwrite trails with conflicting signals to confuse competitors or predators. Mucus also conserves moisture, preventing dehydration in hot or dry climates. This humble substance functions as GPS, armor, and social media, all in one sticky package. Evolution turned mucus from mere waste into a brilliant tool of survival and coordination. Why zebra foals start running right after birth? Zebra foals can run just 1 hour after being born. This amazing ability helps them survive in the wild, where predators are always on the lookout. Baby zebras are born with strong legs that allow them to stand up quickly and keep up with their herd. Thanks to this skill, they can avoid danger from the very start of their lives. Imagine being able to run within an hour of being born. These striped cuties are ready to show off their impressive speed and agility right from the start. Did you know that in the USA there is a monument known as the Four Corners, located at the intersection of 4 states, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona? This unique geographical location is one of the most unusual in the world. Thousands of tourists flock here to take photos at the point where 4 states meet. This monument is not just a point on the map. It's a symbol of how geography can create unique, almost magical places on Earth that become cultural and historical landmarks. Moreover, it draws the attention of researchers and geographers from around the world, serving not only as a tourist attraction, but also as a subject of scientific study. Believe it or not, a duck's feet are nature's perfect oars. Ducks have evolved webbed feet that operate like highly efficient paddles. During a swim stroke, the webbing spreads out to push more water, generating thrust. On the return stroke, the toes fold inward, reducing drag. This efficient design enables ducks to swim with minimal energy loss, reaching speeds of 8 km/h and diving up to 3 meters deep. Their feet also contain a special vascular system that conserves heat in cold water, allowing ducks to stay active even in icy conditions. The outer layer is reinforced with keratin, preventing cuts from sharp underwater objects. Add to that precise muscular control, and ducks become highly maneuverable swimmers. These webbed feet are nature's engineering marvel. Paddle, rudder, and heat exchanger combine. Imagine for a moment that chimpanzees communicate almost like us. Chimpanzees use a rich combination of vocal sounds, gestures, facial expressions, and body language to interact. Their vocalizations include over 30 distinct calls, from food alerts to alarm cries, and even soft coos for reassurance. Each group of chimps has its own dialect, specific patterns of sounds and gestures passed culturally from adult to young. Chimpanzees also gesture with intention. A hand wave, foot stamp, or chest beat can convey urgency, dominance, or invitation. In labs, some chimps have even learned to understand hundreds of human words and symbols, showing the capacity for abstract communication. These apes don't just mimic, they adapt, teach, and express emotions, ideas, and even plans. The similarities between chimp and human communication offer insights into the roots of language and the evolution of intelligence. The lonely giant, the saddest whale on the planet. Imagine a whale that sings at a frequency no one else can hear. This unique whale, dubbed the 52 Hertz whale, is known for singing at 52 Hertz, much higher than other whales. Because of this, it cannot communicate with other whales, and it is considered the loneliest whale in the world. Scientists and the public have followed this whale since the 1980s, and its solitary songs remain a mystery. Perhaps its story is more than just an anomaly. It could be a symbol of our own isolation in the modern world. Why do fawns have no scent? When fawns are born, they have no scent. This adaptation helps them remain unnoticed by nearby predators like wolves and bears. This allows young deer to lie hidden in the grass, undetected due to their invisible presence. The mother deer returns only to feed them and then leaves again, avoiding drawing attention to her offspring. This survival strategy makes fawns true masters of camouflage in the wild. Escape to paradise. Seychelles awaits your arrival. Imagine a place where the sun embraces you, the waves serenade you, and the sand feels like warm silk beneath your feet. That's the magic of the Seychelles. This stunning archipelago in the Indian Ocean is a dream destination for anyone looking to swap winter's icy grasp for tropical bliss. With its pristine beaches, lush jungles, and vibrant coral reefs, the Seychelles is like stepping into a postcard. As winter settles in elsewhere, these islands stay warm and inviting, making them perfect for sun lovers, nature enthusiasts, and adventure seekers alike. Picture yourself hiking through the verdant trails of Mahé, exploring the unique granite boulders of Anse Source d'Argent, or snorkeling in crystal-clear waters teeming with colorful marine life. Local culture adds to the allure, with Creole cuisine tantalizing your taste buds and friendly locals sharing stories of the island's rich history. Whether you seek relaxation or excitement, the Seychelles holds endless possibilities. So why not trade winter chills for sunny thrills? Your slice of paradise is just a flight away. Ever heard a mysterious hum? Discover the Taos hum. This strange and low-pitched sound has intrigued people around the world, and it's often compared to the distant rumble of a diesel engine. Most commonly reported in places like the USA, UK, and Northern Europe, this elusive noise has left many scratching their heads. It got its name from Taos, New Mexico, where residents first reported it in the 1990s. In 1997, Congress took it seriously enough to ask researchers to investigate what on earth could be causing it. Despite extensive efforts, including sound analysis and community surveys, the source of the hum has baffled experts and remains unsolved. Some theories suggest it could be environmental factors or even industrial noise, yet no conclusive answers have emerged. Residents have described the hum as disruptive, affecting sleep and daily life. So next time you find yourself in one of those quiet spots, listen closely. You might just catch a glimpse of the Taos hum, one of the world's biggest auditory mysteries. You might be a descendant of Genghis Khan. In 2003, scientists conducted a study that revealed that about 16 million men worldwide share a common Y chromosome with Genghis Khan. This means that approximately 1 in 200 men is a direct descendant of this famous conqueror. Genghis Khan and his descendants left a significant genetic legacy across the vast regions he conquered. Although this study focuses on the paternal line, it shows just how intertwined history and genetics can be. Snails can sleep for up to 3 years. In the slow-moving world of creatures, snails are the undeniable champions. They have the astonishing ability to hibernate for up to 3 years. For some, it's not laziness, but rather an enviable skill of endurance and patience. You can only imagine the slow-paced dreams they must have over the years. And here we thought our weekend naps were impressive. Don't ever challenge a snail to a sleep-off. You're bound to lose in the most hilarious way possible. How Albert Einstein inspired the character of Yoda. Did you know that the appearance of the legendary Star Wars character, Master Yoda, was partially inspired by Albert Einstein? The filmmakers used photos of the great scientist to give Yoda a wise and thoughtful look. Einstein's genius features, such as his wrinkles, pensive expression, and tired yet intelligent gaze, were the foundation for creating one of the most recognizable characters in film history. This fascinating fact shows how modern cultural icons can be linked to real geniuses of the past. The next time you watch Star Wars, remember that Yoda's wise look hides a bit of one of history's greatest scientists. Slavery in the United States existed from 1619, but was officially abolished only in 1862 through President Abraham Lincoln's decision. He became a symbol of the struggle for freedom and equality. By that time, slavery was deeply entrenched in American society, and its abolition marked a significant milestone in U.S. history. This act triggered a series of changes in the country's social structure, leading to the Civil War and serious economic and cultural transformations that continue to impact society today. Discover how magnetic rings revolutionized early computer memory. In the early days of computing, memory technology took a fascinating turn with the use of tiny magnetic rings. Each ring was a remarkable component that stored data by allowing electrical signals to loop through them. When it came time to erase this data, engineers simply reversed the current, making the rings reusable. This innovative approach was a major leap forward, providing computers with a reliable way to hold and manipulate information. Imagine a collection of these rings strung together on wires, working tirelessly to perform calculations, while being as precious as gold. Over time, however, this technology was eclipsed by the invention of microchips, which packed even more power into an even smaller space. Yet, the magnetic ring memory remains a crucial chapter in the evolution of computing, showcasing how engineers shape the world we live in today. Doesn't it blow your mind that something so small played such a huge role in the technology we now take for granted? Can you believe that the electric chair was actually invented by a dentist? Believe it or not, the electric chair, one of the most infamous devices in history, was conceived by Alfred P. Southwick, a dentist. Southwick designed the electric chair in the late 19th century as a more humane alternative to hanging. This shocking invention forever changed the history of capital punishment. It's almost ironic to think that a person dedicated to caring for people's teeth would create such a grim device. Camels, the giants of the desert. Despite popular belief, camels didn't always live in deserts. They originally descended from ancient animals that roamed the forests of North America around 30 million years ago. Over time, they migrated to Africa and Asia, where their humps became an adaptation for surviving in hot climates. These humps, filled with fat, allow camels to go without water for up to 2 weeks. They can drink up to 50 liters of water at once, making them masters of survival in environments where other creatures would perish. Camels remain a vital part of life for many desert communities. Believe it or not, penguins coat themselves with a water-repellent layer. Braving the brutal cold of Antarctic waters, penguins rely on more than just fat for survival. They wear a built-in waterproof suit. At the base of their tail lies a uropygial gland that secretes a thick, oily substance. Penguins spread this oil across their feathers, using their beaks during grooming. The result? A perfectly sealed outer coat that locks in body heat and keeps icy water out. This not only helps them dive to great depths, but also lets them swim for hours without becoming waterlogged. Without this daily oiling, penguins would lose heat at catastrophic rates, up to 30% of their body warmth in just a minute. The waterproof barrier also increases buoyancy and streamlines their form, allowing smooth gliding through frigid seas. Their ability to coat themselves is not a luxury. It's a life-saving adaptation, crucial for one of Earth's harshest environments. Did you know Beyoncé's name has a special meaning? Beyoncé Giselle Knowles-Carter, one of the most celebrated music icons of our time, carries a beautiful piece of family history within her name. Her first name, Beyoncé, is actually a tribute to her mother, Tina Knowles' maiden name. This connection is a heartfelt nod to her family's roots and the legacy they've built together. The uniqueness of her name mirrors her own distinct style and artistry in the music industry, making it easy to recognize and remember. Growing up, Beyoncé was influenced by a mixture of music, dance, and performance, which led her to rise to fame as a member of Destiny's Child, before launching her powerhouse solo career. Her name isn't just a name, it's part of her personal story and a reminder of where she came from. With countless awards under her belt and a passion for empowering others, Beyoncé's journey from her mother's maiden name to a global superstar showcases the profound influence of heritage and personal identity in shaping incredible talents. Did you know that in the US, there are banknotes with denominations up to $100,000? These bills were designed for internal transfers between large financial institutions and were never used in everyday transactions. Primarily, they were intended to facilitate operations between Federal Reserve banks. Such notes are rare, and although they are no longer issued, they remain an important part of the history of the American financial system and serve as an interesting example of unique solutions in banking practice. Is it really possible that in Norway, there is a tunnel where goats are herded every day? In Norway, there is the unique Lærdal Tunnel, which is considered the longest road tunnel in the world, stretching more than 24 kilometers. But what's surprising is that every spring this tunnel is not only used by cars, but also to herd goats. During migration, the animals cross the tunnel in search of pastures, and it has become a local tradition. Not only is it safer for the goats than mountain roads, but it also attracts tourists. Did you know there are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way? Imagine this. There are about 3 trillion trees on Earth, while the Milky Way contains an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars. This means there are more trees on our planet than stars in our galaxy. This surprising fact highlights the abundance of life on Earth. Every time you walk through a forest or see a tree in your yard, remember how vital these giants are for sustaining life, providing oxygen, and regulating the climate. Did you know that the USA leads the world in Olympic medals? The United States holds the all-time record for Olympic Games medals. American athletes have earned more than 2,900 medals throughout the history of the Games. It is the only country to have won more than 1,000 gold medals. The USA continues to dominate, winning medals at every Olympics since the start of the Games in 1896. In 2024, at the Paris Games, the USA became the first country to surpass 3,000 total medals. This is a phenomenal achievement. Hard to believe, but the electric catfish is an underwater stun gun. Lurking in African rivers, the electric catfish may appear slow and harmless, but it harbors a shocking secret, literally. Species like Malapterurus electricus have evolved an internal electric organ made from modified muscle cells that can release bursts of electricity up to 350 volts. This jolt can instantly paralyze small fish, knock items from human hands, and even stun larger animals like perch or small crocodiles. The shock only lasts a few seconds, but it's enough to leave prey floating helplessly. The catfish then calmly swims up and gulps its immobilized meal. Unlike electric eels that use pulses, this catfish delivers a sustained burst, making it one of the most efficient aquatic predators in murky waters. It's a self-charging battery with fins, a natural marvel that uses bioelectricity for both defense and offense. Did you know that artificial intelligence has been around since the 1950s? Artificial intelligence, or AI, began its development in the mid-20th century and has since revolutionized various industries. From virtual assistants to autonomous vehicles, AI has become an integral part of our daily lives. Today, AI is used in healthcare, finance, transportation, and entertainment, transforming how we live and work. The growth of AI is an incredible journey of technological evolution, showcasing how far we've come in understanding and creating intelligent machines. How about this? Texas is essentially a separate country within the U.S. Texas is a unique state in the U.S. with a special status. It is the only state that has the right to fly its flag alongside the national flag. Texas was an independent nation for a long time before joining the U.S. in 1845. This status persists today, making Texas distinct among all American states. Texas's de jure status serves as a reminder of its history and traditions of independence. Here's a wild fact about the Le Mans race. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is an incredible endurance race that stands out as the most prestigious of its kind in the world. Taking place annually in France, this grueling automotive contest challenges teams to race for a full 24 hours straight. Imagine racing all day and night with skills and precision at the forefront of every driver's mind. The event first kicked off in 1923 and has since become a legendary spectacle, drawing major manufacturers and racing teams from all over the globe. The course itself is a mix of public roads and a closed track, demanding everything from speed to strategy from drivers. With competitors often switching out mid-race, teamwork is essential. Their vehicles aren't just about raw power, they require brilliant engineering to last through the grueling hours while battling against the elements and each other. From heart-stopping turns to strategic pit stops, every moment is filled with excitement and risks. This race is truly a test of endurance for both the machines and the skill of the human drivers behind the wheel. Why does Japan shake and shift so often? Japan is a fascinating archipelago located in Southeast Asia, made up of over 6,800 islands. This unique geography isn't just beautiful, it's also responsible for some very active geological activity. About 70% of Japan's land is covered by mountains, many of which are actually volcanoes. There are around 200 of them. These towering giants contribute to Japan's stunning natural landscapes, but also bring with them the risk of eruptions. Alongside these mountains, Japan lies in a seismically active region of the world, which means it experiences around 1,500 earthquakes every year. These quakes can range from small tremors that barely shake a cup of tea to larger jolts that can cause significant damage. The combination of tectonic plates shifting beneath them makes the country both beautiful and unpredictable. Despite the risks, the Japanese people are incredibly resilient, and their architecture and culture have adapted to coexist with these natural phenomena. So whether it's the serene beauty of Mount Fuji or the bustling streets of Tokyo, the dynamic earth beneath reminds us that Japan is a land shaped by both beauty and power. Amazingly, oysters can change their gender. Oysters possess an incredible ability to change gender based on their needs. Throughout their lives, they may become male or female multiple times, helping them adapt to their environment and reproduce more effectively. This flexibility is crucial in habitats with varying population dynamics, where these changes can greatly influence survival. Polar bears are invisible to infrared cameras. Polar bears are true masters of camouflage. Thanks to their thick layer of fat and dense fur, they are perfectly insulated from the Arctic cold. But what's truly surprising is that these furry giants are almost invisible to infrared cameras. It's as if they have a natural invisibility cloak, making them the ultimate champions in the game of hide and seek. Good luck spotting them with a thermal camera. Guess what really drives Dunkin' Donuts' success? Founded in 1948 by William Rosenberg in Massachusetts, Dunkin' Donuts has become a beloved coffee and donut brand worldwide. With over 12,000 stores across 36 countries, it's hard to find a town without a Dunkin'. But what's the magic behind its popularity? The brand built its reputation on delivering a quick, delicious experience, making it perfect for busy mornings. Dunkin' offers a wide range of coffee drinks, from classic black to whimsical flavored options, catering to all taste buds. Did you know their signature coffee is brewed fresh throughout the day? This dedication to quality keeps customers coming back for their caffeine fix. Plus, Dunkin' isn't just about coffee. Their donuts, particularly the Boston cream and jelly varieties, are fan favorites. They've even expanded their menu to include breakfast sandwiches and snacks, appealing to those looking for a meal on the go. With a focus on customer experience and constant innovation, Dunkin' continues to thrive in a competitive market. So what's your favorite Dunkin' treat? Why sloths are so slow? A metabolic mystery. Sloths are so slow that even their digestion can take weeks. They can take up to 30 days to digest a single leaf. This slow metabolism helps them survive in environments where food is scarce. Sloths live in the treetops of tropical forests, moving so slowly that algae grow on their fur, camouflaging them into their surroundings. This disguise helps protect them from predators like eagles and jaguars. Thanks to their laziness, they use very little energy, making them true masters of energy conservation in nature. Did you know one lightning strike could toast 100,000 slices of bread? A single lightning strike can generate enough energy to toast about 100,000 slices of bread. This figure highlights the colossal power of lightning and its ability to generate incredible amounts of energy in just fractions of a second. Next time you see lightning, imagine how powerful nature is. Not only booming thunderously, but also capable of powering an entire electric grid. Nature continues to astonish with its immense potential. How did London almost start growing pineapples in the middle of winter? In the 17th century, the English wanted pineapples so much that they started building special greenhouses to grow them. These greenhouses, called pineapple houses, were heated with coal, and it could take up to 2 years to grow a single pineapple. Considering that pineapples were a true rarity back then, they were given as royal gifts, symbolizing luxury and status. Who would have thought that jellyfish are 95% water? Jellyfish are almost ethereal in appearance, and no wonder, 95% of their bodies are made of water. This high water content allows them to float gracefully through the ocean, moving with the currents as if weightless. Despite their simple structure, jellyfish have existed for hundreds of millions of years, perfectly adapted to life in the ocean. Their delicate, watery forms remind us of the fragility and beauty of marine ecosystems. Believe it or not, lasers can actually cool objects. While lasers are typically associated with heat, there are special lasers that can cool objects down to ultra-low temperatures. This process, called laser cooling, is used to reach temperatures near absolute zero. These technologies play a key role in quantum physics and are used in experiments with atoms and particles, leading to groundbreaking discoveries in science. Could pangolins really roll into invulnerable battle balls? Pangolins, the only mammals entirely armored in keratin scales, have developed one of the most effective natural defense systems. When threatened, they instantly curl into a tight ball, exposing only their razor-sharp plates. These overlapping scales, made of the same protein as human fingernails, are tough, flexible, and can deflect bites from lions and leopards. Even mothers protect their young by rolling around them, forming a living shield. Their defense is so effective, predators often give up. Unfortunately, their invincibility against nature has made them vulnerable to humans. Their scales are falsely believed to have medicinal properties, making them one of the most trafficked animals in the world. Conservationists are racing to protect these secretive creatures, whose silent strength and prehistoric armor make them true marvels of mammalian evolution. Guess why Liberia banned wild animal consumption? Following the devastating Ebola outbreak in 2014, Liberia made a bold move to protect public health by banning the consumption of wild animals. This decision was crucial because many of these animals can carry diseases that jump from animals to humans, putting entire communities at risk. But instead of leaving people without a source of protein, the government encouraged a sustainable alternative: breeding giant snails. These snails are not only fascinating with their impressive size and ability to reproduce rapidly, but they're also packed with protein, making them a nutritious food option. They require less space and resources to raise compared to traditional livestock, which is great for keeping the environment healthy. As locals embraced this new approach, giant snails became a popular ingredient in dishes, helping families stay healthy while sidestepping the risks associated with hunting wild animals. This shift highlights how we can adapt our food sources in the face of challenges while promoting both health and sustainability. Hard to believe, but the largest iceberg was the size of Jamaica. The largest iceberg ever recorded broke off from the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica in 1986. It was about 280 kilometers long and 80 kilometers wide, making its area comparable to the size of Jamaica. This gigantic iceberg was so massive, it could easily have housed entire cities. It drifted in the ocean for several years, slowly melting. Imagine for a moment that the narwhal's tusk is real. It looks like fantasy, but the narwhal's iconic spiral tusk is no mythical horn. It's a real sensory organ with astonishing function. This 3-meter-long tooth, emerging from the upper left jaw of most males, contains millions of nerve endings and is sensitive enough to detect changes in water temperature, salinity, and pressure. Scientists believe narwhals use it like a sonar antenna, guiding them through the Arctic's icy labyrinths. They've even observed tusking behavior, narwhals rubbing tusks together in what may be a form of communication or dominance display. Some cultures once believed these tusks came from unicorns. Today we know they're instruments of biological elegance and precision. Part weapon, part sensor, part symbol, the narwhal's tusk is one of the most fascinating natural adaptations in the marine world. Believe it or not, cuttlefish change not only color, but also skin texture. The cuttlefish, a cousin of the octopus and squid, is a living billboard of biological illusion. With astonishing speed, it can shift its skin through millions of color combinations using 3 types of pigment cells: chromatophores, iridophores, and leucophores, layered in dynamic harmony. But it goes further. Muscular papillae under the skin allow it to raise bumps, spikes, or wrinkles, mimicking the texture of coral, sand, or seaweed. This allows the cuttlefish to not only blend visually into its surroundings, but also physically disappear into the landscape. What's more, cuttlefish make these transformations based on sight and memory. They study the environment and decide the best disguise, revealing learning and problem-solving abilities. This shape-shifting skill is both defense and offense, allowing them to hide from predators or sneak up on prey without ever being noticed. Why do you think lightning can strike the same place multiple times? Contrary to popular belief, lightning can strike the same place multiple times. For example, the Empire State Building in New York is hit by up to 100 lightning bolts every year. This happens because tall buildings and structures attract electric discharges. The tops of these buildings are equipped with lightning rods to protect them from strikes, making multiple lightning strikes not just possible, but common. Did you know that grizzly bears can run faster than horses? Contrary to the belief that bears are clumsy giants, they can reach speeds of over 50 kilometers per hour. That's faster than many horses. Grizzlies have not only powerful muscles, but also incredible agility, making them fearsome predators. Their speed allows them to hunt successfully and protect their territory. So if you encounter a bear in the wild, don't think you can outrun it. Better to keep a safe distance and admire its power from afar. Clouds are heavier than you think. Ever wonder how much clouds weigh, even though they float so gracefully across the sky? Well, a typical cumulus cloud weighs about 500,000 kilograms. That's as much as 100 elephants. They might look light and fluffy, but they're carrying a huge amount of water. The next time you see clouds overhead, just remember the massive weight floating above you. Can you imagine there's a bridge in Sweden that goes underwater? In Sweden, there is a unique bridge called the Öresund Bridge, which connects the country to Denmark. This bridge suddenly ends and dives underwater, turning into a tunnel. This engineering marvel was designed to avoid interfering with sea traffic. Driving from Sweden to Denmark gives the feeling that you're diving into the sea right in your car, adding an exciting element to the journey. Hardly anyone knows that the kakapo is the world's only nocturnal parrot. The kakapo, Strigops habruptilis, is a marvel of evolutionary oddity. Weighing up to 4 kilograms and incapable of flight, this chubby moss-green parrot spends its nights waddling silently through New Zealand forests. It has a keen sense of smell, rare for birds, and excellent hearing, helping it navigate in darkness. Kakapos are solitary and shy, with males emitting deep, booming calls that resonate across valleys to attract females during the breeding season. Their feathers are soft and fluffy for insulation, and they climb trees using powerful legs and beaks. Once numbering in the thousands, kakapos were decimated by introduced predators. Today, intense conservation efforts, including round-the-clock monitoring and genetic management, have brought the population to just over 250. The kakapo isn't just rare. It's a living reminder of a time when birds ruled islands free of mammals. How does Germany successfully run a crocodile farm? At the crocodile farm in Saarland Zoo, more than 100 crocodiles live comfortably, even in Germany's harsh climate. This zoo is equipped with water heating systems that create ideal conditions for these exotic reptiles. Despite the cold winters, the crocodiles act as if they're in the tropics. Tourists can even watch them lazily swim or feed, making this one of the region's main attractions. Step back in time to ancient Rome's fierce gladiators. In the bustling heart of the Roman Empire, where the Colosseum echoed with cheers and roars, gladiators were more than just fighters. They were trained warriors who honed their skills in special schools known as ludi. These schools were run by expert trainers called lanistas, who meticulously crafted the gladiators' abilities, preparing them for the brutal arena battles that captivated audiences. Imagine the early mornings at these training grounds, where the air was thick with the sound of clashing swords and the shouts of eager trainers. Gladiators practiced relentlessly, mastering techniques not only in combat but also in teamwork, as they often fought alongside each other in pairs or groups. The ludi were places of discipline and endurance, where the fighters learned to withstand both physical pain and psychological pressure. While they were often seen as mere entertainers, these warriors led complex lives, forming bonds with their trainers and fellow fighters, and sometimes even becoming celebrities of their time. The life of a gladiator was harsh, but through rigorous training, they became symbols of bravery and skill, forever etched in history. Who would have thought that you can see sounds through light? Sounds can not only be heard but also seen. Using special equipment like oscilloscopes, scientists can visualize sound waves, turning them into light pulses. These pulses take on different shapes depending on the frequency and intensity of the sound. The sight is incredible. High frequencies appear as fast, thin lines, while low ones as slow, broad patterns. Technology allows us to see music and sounds, adding a new dimension to how we perceive them. Imagine a flight that lasts only 53 seconds. The shortest commercial flight in the world connects two Scottish islands, Westray and Papa Westray. This flight covers just 1.5 miles and lasts less than a minute. Only 53 seconds. By the time you buckle your seatbelt, the plane is already preparing to land. It's probably the quickest and shortest way to travel that you can imagine. If you ever find yourself on this flight, you won't even notice its start and finish. Have you ever stopped to think that hummingbirds are built like tiny helicopters? Hummingbirds are the only birds that can hover in place, fly backward, and pivot in midair. And they achieve this with wing beats reaching up to 80 times per second. Their wings don't flap up and down like most birds. They rotate in a figure-8 motion, generating lift on both the upstroke and downstroke. This maneuverability is powered by massive pectoral muscles, which make up 30% of their body weight. Their metabolism is so fast that their heart rate can hit 1,260 beats per minute, and they must feed constantly to avoid starvation. They consume nectar every few minutes and enter torpor at night to conserve energy. Despite their size, these aerial acrobats are among the most complex flyers in the natural world, a marvel of evolution shrunk down to a few grams of feathered genius. Here's a wild fact about a magical ice hotel. Every year in Sweden, a stunning hotel made entirely out of ice and snow springs to life, and it's not just for show. Known as the Ice Hotel, this amazing place is constructed in the small village of Jukkajärvi, just above the Arctic Circle. Each winter, skilled artisans gather around 5,000 tons of ice from the nearby Torne River to create stunning rooms, sculptures, and even a bar, all while keeping the creativity flowing. Every year, the design is different, offering guests a fresh experience with intricate ice artwork and uniquely themed suites. But it's not just about the chilly rooms. Staying at the Ice Hotel means diving into plenty of fun winter activities. Guests can try dog sledding, snowmobiling, or relax in a cozy sauna. The hotel also melts away come spring, turning back into the river it came from, making each stay truly one of a kind. Imagine snuggling into a sleeping bag on a bed made of ice. How many places can offer that kind of frosty adventure? Have you ever wondered what makes Britain so unique? One of the most distinctive aspects of the UK is its ability to blend ancient history with modernity. Despite its roots in ancient times, Britain has successfully adapted to a changing world, allowing it to remain a significant player on the international stage. Additionally, British culture has made a profound impact on art, literature, and science. Why do some old clocks have one number written incorrectly If you have ever looked closely at the dials of old clocks, you may have noticed that the Roman numeral for 4 is often written as 3 instead of the standard Ivor. The reason for this lies in historical traditions. Roman craftsmen believed that 3 looked more symmetrical on the clock face and was easier to recognize by the eye. This rule has carried over from ancient times to modern antique clocks, preserving its incorrect beauty. Can you believe the world's fastest roller coaster hits 240 kilometers per hour? The Formula Rossa in Abu Dhabi, UAE, holds the title of the world's fastest roller coaster. It accelerates to an astonishing 240 kilometers per hour, about 150 miles per hour, in just 4.9 seconds. With a track length of 2.2 kilometers and a height of 52 meters, this ride is a thrill-seeker's dream. The coaster is modeled after a Ferrari race car, and riders are required to wear protective goggles to shield their eyes from the high-speed wind. Buckle up and prepare for the ride of a lifetime. This might sound crazy, but the mantis shrimp punches harder than a bullet. The mantis shrimp may look like a colorful reef dweller, but it packs one of the most powerful punches in the animal kingdom. Its club-like limb accelerates at 23 meters per second, faster than a .22 caliber bullet, and delivers over 10,000 G of force. When it strikes, it not only smashes shells, but also creates cavitation bubbles that collapse with a second explosive hit, producing shock waves, heat, and even light. The limb structure includes a saddle-shaped energy-storing mechanism, which scientists now study to develop resilient materials for body armor and aerospace. Aquarium glass has cracked under its blows. It's not just brute strength, it's precision engineering perfected over millions of years. With explosive power and mind-blowing speed, the mantis shrimp is one of nature's deadliest biomechanical weapons. Elephants fear bees, and that saves farms. Elephants are giants of the savannah. But there's something tiny that makes them run away. Bees. African farmers discovered that elephants are terrified of these buzzing insects. Using this fear, they started setting up beehives along the borders of their fields. These beehive fences create a natural bee barrier, and elephants, hearing the buzzing, avoid these areas to avoid painful stings. This ingenious solution helps farmers protect their crops from being trampled, maintaining a peaceful coexistence with these majestic animals without resorting to violence. Nature truly is the best ally. Did you know that the first frozen dinner was created in 1953? Imagine this. The frozen dinners we're so used to were once a culinary breakthrough. In 1953, Swanson introduced a frozen meal styled after a Thanksgiving dinner. This meal was in response to the need for quick meal preparation, and since then, frozen foods have become a staple of our diets. Today, the variety of frozen meals is staggering, from pizzas to exotic delicacies. Just think how a simple solution for leftover food turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry that has transformed our eating habits. Horsepower, more than just a name. Did you know that a horse can produce a lot more than just 1 horsepower? The term was coined by Scottish engineer James Watt to compare the power of steam engines to the strength of a horse. It turns out that a single horse can actually generate a maximum output of up to 18,000 watts, which is roughly equivalent to 24 horsepower. This number depends on factors like the horse's size, breed, and physical condition. While we often use this unit to measure cars and machinery, its origins tie us back to the era of steam engines and the Industrial Revolution. Who would have thought that dolphins sleep with one eye open? Yes, it's true. Dolphins have a unique ability to shut down half of their brain while the other half remains active. This allows them to rest while staying alert for predators and maintaining control over their breathing. Imagine being able to sleep while still ready to wake up at any moment. This evolutionary trick helps dolphins survive in the ocean. You won't believe what flows in Antarctica. At the stunning Taylor Island, there's a remarkable site known as the Blood Falls, captivating all who visit. This striking waterfall is not your typical cascade of clear blue water. Instead, it pours out a deep, eerie red, reminiscent of blood, which certainly raises eyebrows and sparks curiosity. But what causes this unusual hue? The secret lies in the iron-rich water seeping out from beneath the glacier. As the salty water, which is extremely saline and acidic, flows to the surface, it oxidizes once it comes into contact with the air, transforming into that striking red color. This phenomenon is both mesmerizing and scientifically intriguing. The blood falls are a fantastic example of how Earth's unique conditions can create striking natural wonders. Despite its unsettling appearance, the water is a product of a complex geological process taking place beneath the icy surface, showcasing the incredible diversity of life and environments that exist even in the most extreme conditions like Antarctica. Here's a wild connection you didn't see coming. A giraffe's tongue is sunproof. A giraffe's tongue is not only impressively long, up to 50 centimeters, it's also a multifunctional tool adapted for life under the sun. Its purplish-black color isn't just unusual, it protects against sunburn. While giraffes spend up to 12 hours a day reaching for thorny acacia leaves, their tongues remain exposed, so the dark pigment acts like built-in sunscreen. The tongue is also prehensile and tough, allowing giraffes to grasp branches, strip leaves, and avoid thorns with ease. Its surface is covered in bristle-like papillae, and its saliva is antibacterial, helping heal cuts and prevent infection. The tongue even plays a role in social grooming and caring for young. Flexible, sun-safe, and strong, it's not just a tongue, it's a savanna survival toolkit in action. Imagine for a moment that Stonehenge is older than the Egyptian pyramids. Stonehenge is a mysterious monument that remains one of the world's greatest enigmas. It was built around 3000 BC, making it older than the oldest pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Khufu in Egypt, which was constructed around 2500 BC. It is unknown how ancient people managed to erect such a grand structure, and, importantly, why they did so. This makes Stonehenge an important archaeological and cultural landmark. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Brits talk about the weather more than anything else. According to a study, 94% of Brits have talked about the weather at least once in the last 6 hours, and 38% reported discussing it in the last hour. This is due to the frequently changing weather in the UK, where rainy conditions are the norm. On average, there are 130 rainy days a year in Britain, prompting locals to always discuss what's happening outside. So don't be surprised if, upon meeting a Brit, the first question is about the weather. How would you react if you found out that there are over 100 words for rain in Britain? It's not a joke. The English language boasts more than 100 words to describe different types of rain. This emphasis on describing precipitation is due to the constant rainy weather in the UK. And if you ever find yourself in Britain on a rainy day, remember that the best way to cope with the dreary weather is by having a cup of tea, which is also an important part of British culture. Did you know that 2 to 3% of people don't need deodorant? Yes, it's true. About 2 to 3% of the population has a genetic mutation that prevents the production of unpleasant body odor associated with sweating. These people can engage in sports and physical activity without worrying about body odor. This happens because they lack the necessary bacteria that break down sweat and create unpleasant smells. This discovery sheds light on the diversity of human genetics and how we perceive body odors. How would you react if you learned that London is a city with a history spanning nearly 2,000 years? Founded by the Romans in 43 AD, it was originally called Londinium. Over time, its name changed and it became a hub of global culture and economy. London was the first city to have an underground railway and even the first to open a hot chocolate shop. Today, nearly 9 million people live in London, speaking over 300 languages. Who would have thought that clouds can weigh millions of tons? Despite their light and airy appearance, clouds actually have massive weight. 1 cubic meter of cloud contains about half a gram of water. Considering that a typical cumulus cloud can have a volume of over 1 billion cubic meters, its mass can reach 500,000 tons. That's about the same as 400,000 cars. Imagine tons of water floating above you. Did you know that Scotland has 421 words for snow? In Scotland, the language is so rich in describing weather phenomena that they have as many as 421 words for snow. This discovery was made by the University of Glasgow as part of the Historical Thesaurus of Scots project. Some of these words are unique and sound quite unusual. For example, sneasel refers to fine rain or snow, and feeful means snow swirling in the wind. This vast vocabulary demonstrates how important snow and weather are in Scottish life. Did you know about Hawaii's Lost Kingdom attempt? In 1870, a bold group of Americans made a surprising move by trying to establish the Kingdom of Hawaii, seeking independence from the United States. This ambitious plan reflected their desire for self-governance and a different future for the islands. The leaders aimed to capitalize on Hawaii's unique culture and resources, thinking it would thrive separately from U.S. control. However, despite their enthusiasm and plans, the effort faced significant challenges, including local opposition and political complications. Fast forward to 1898, and Hawaii's fate took a different turn when it officially became a U.S. territory. This move dramatically altered the island's future, integrating them into a broader national framework and paving the way for Hawaii's eventual statehood. The fascinating history of Hawaii's independence attempt showcases the complex interplay of power, culture, and identity during a transformative period in American history. How might things have been different if they had succeeded? Did you know the world's most isolated tree was located in the middle of the Sahara? In the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, there once stood a legendary tree known as the Tree of Tenere. This solitary acacia was the only tree for miles around and served as an essential landmark for travelers. The tree was about 300 years old and survived the harsh desert conditions by tapping into underground water. Sadly, its story came to a tragic end in 1973 when it was accidentally knocked down by a truck. Today, the Tree of Tenere is preserved in a museum, a symbol of nature's resilience and the dangers of the desert. Did you know that ancient maps showed sea monsters? During the age of exploration, when sailors had no idea what lay beyond the horizon, maps often depicted enormous sea monsters. The cartographers who created them frequently drew giant squids, whales, and snake-like creatures in the seas and oceans, warning future travelers of what lay ahead. Some monsters on these maps were inspired by real encounters with unknown sea creatures, while others were pure fantasy. For sailors of that time, a map was not just a guide, but a warning about the dangers lurking beyond the known world. The inventor of the Super Soaker water gun worked for NASA. Who would have? Lonnie Johnson, the creator of the famous Super Soaker water gun, was an engineer at NASA. Johnson worked on developing advanced technologies for space missions, such as the Galileo project to Jupiter. But in his spare time, he developed toys, and one of his ideas became a global hit. The Super Soaker became an iconic water gun that kids around the world played with. This example shows that innovation can come from the most unexpected places, and an engineer's genius can create not only space technology, but also unforgettable childhood moments. You won't believe what this red paint actually means. That red coating on ship hulls? It's not just a stylistic tradition, it's a centuries-old solution to a serious problem. In the age of wooden ships, barnacles, algae, and worms would attach to the underside of vessels, slowing them down and damaging the hull. Sailors discovered that copper, toxic to such organisms, could keep ships clean. The copper paint had a distinct reddish tint, and soon red hulls became a global standard. Even with modern ships made of steel and high-tech anti-fouling coatings, red remains the dominant color below the waterline. It's a nod to function over fashion. Red paint saves fuel, improves speed, and reduces maintenance. What looks like a design choice is actually one of the most practical, enduring innovations in maritime history. Did you know the African elephant is the largest land animal on Earth? African elephants are true giants. These majestic creatures can weigh up to 14,000 pounds, about 6,350 kilograms. That's like a small car on 4 legs. These gentle giants are a symbol of nature's greatness, and their size is awe-inspiring. Incredibly, a blue whale's heartbeat can be heard from 2 miles away. The heart of the blue whale, the largest animal on the planet, beats so powerfully that it can be heard up to 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers away. This amazing fact shows just how enormous and powerful these ocean giants are. A blue whale's heart weighs as much as a car, pumping blood through arteries so wide a person could swim through them. Imagine this natural machine sets the rhythm of an entire ocean. This tiny ball flipped golf history. In the early 1930s, a manager at the Acushnet company was frustrated with golf balls that didn't roll straight, so he cut one open and found the core was off-center. That simple act led to hiring an MIT engineer who designed the first perfectly balanced ball. In 1935, the Titleist was born. Its precise symmetry gave golfers unprecedented control, and within years it became the gold standard for professionals. Today, Titleist dominates courses worldwide. It all started with curiosity and a razor blade. That tiny white ball changed how the game is played, practiced, and perfected. Proof that small innovations can reshape entire sports. Could this really be true? All gold ever mined fits in 3 pools. Despite its glittering presence in culture and commerce, gold is astonishingly rare. Every ounce ever extracted by humans totals around 187,000 metric tons, enough to fill just 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Most of it sits in vaults, central banks, jewelry, and high-tech electronics. The metal's appeal lies in its unique properties. It doesn't corrode, it's easy to shape, and it's stunning to look at. Ancient civilizations from Egypt to the Inca worshipped it. Modern economies still hoard it. And yet, for all its symbolic weight, gold is surprisingly compact in physical volume. It's a reminder that rarity, not abundance, drives value, and that the treasures we fight over can sometimes fit in a room. Is it really true that Diet Coke floats? You might be surprised to learn that a regular can of Coke sinks while its diet counterpart stays buoyant in water. Why does this happen? It all comes down to density, which is how heavy something is for its size. Regular Coke is packed with sugar, which adds weight and makes it denser than water. When the can hits the water, the weight pulls it down. Conversely, Diet Coke is sweetened with artificial sweeteners that are much lighter, making the overall can less dense than water. This lighter density allows Diet Coke to bob on the surface, defying expectations. If you've ever tossed a can into a pool or bucket, this little experiment can turn into a fun science lesson. Gather some friends, fill up a container, and see for yourself. This quirky difference not only highlights the fascinating principles of density, but also showcases how small changes in ingredients can lead to surprising and delightful outcomes in our everyday products. Did you know the term cow is often used incorrectly? The term cow technically refers only to a female cattle that has given birth to at least 1 calf. A female that has not yet had a calf is properly called a heifer. Male cattle are called bulls. This term is often used incorrectly in everyday conversation when referring to cattle in general. The next time you speak about cows, remember that there are many nuances to the term, depending on the animal's sex and age. Is it true that counterfeiting has existed since the inception of coins? Counterfeiting emerged simultaneously with the first coins. Ancient fraudsters began to chip away at the edges of coins to create new ones, thereby diminishing their value. To counteract this, coins started to feature special edges, reading, making counterfeiting more difficult. Despite these measures, counterfeiting remains a relevant issue in various countries today. Is it true that there is a bridge in China that only glows during a full moon? In Guizhou province, there is a bridge called the Moonlight Bridge, which becomes visible only under the light of the full moon. This bridge is made from a special material that reflects moonlight, creating the illusion that it glows in the dark. Tourists plan their trips around full moons just to see this unusual phenomenon. The architects who designed the bridge were inspired by ancient Chinese legends of moon spirits, and now this bridge has become one of the most romantic spots in the region. Did you know kiwis were once called Chinese gooseberries? This quirky little fruit has quite an interesting backstory. Originally discovered in China in the early 20th century, it was aptly named the Chinese gooseberry due to its sweet and tangy flavor, reminiscent of the beloved gooseberry. However, everything changed when the fruit made its way to New Zealand. In a clever marketing move, New Zealand growers decided to rename it kiwi after the fluffy, brown, and flightless kiwi bird, which is a national symbol of the country. This new name not only made the fruit sound more exotic and appealing, but also connected it to its new home. The kiwi quickly gained popularity around the world, and today it is loved for its vibrant green color, unique texture, and delightful taste. Plus, the kiwi is packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and fiber, making it a nutritious snack that's fun to eat. So next time you enjoy this little powerhouse, remember its journey from Chinese gooseberry to kiwi and appreciate the creativity behind its name. Hard to believe, but Iceland has an official elf translator. Icelanders believe in elves so much that they even invite a special translator to communicate with them. Road and building contractors are required to consult with this translator to avoid disturbing elf dwellings. It's believed that elves live in rocks and hills, so if construction is needed, they check first to see if it's an elf home. This way, Iceland builds with possible neighbors in mind. Did you know that the peacock is the most colorful animal on Earth? The peacock, native to Asia, is crowned as the most vibrant animal on the planet. Its stunning array of colors includes brilliant blues, greens, yellows, purples, and reds. These dazzling feathers not only captivate potential mates, but also help the peacock ward off predators. Each feather is like a masterpiece, and together they create a living rainbow in nature. The peacock is truly a spectacle of nature, flaunting its colors like a work of art. The broken chains at the feet of the Statue of Liberty. At the feet of the Statue of Liberty are broken chains, symbolizing freedom from oppression and injustice. These chains, often hidden from view, send a powerful message: the continuous march towards emancipation and liberty. They serve as a reminder that the struggle for freedom never truly ends, and every step taken is part of the larger journey towards justice. The Statue of Liberty's broken chains represent hope and liberation for all. Believe it or not, the world's deepest lake holds 20% of all the fresh water on Earth. Lake Baikal, located in Siberia, is not only the deepest lake in the world, but also contains 20% of the world's freshwater reserves. Its depth reaches over 1.5 kilometers, and its volume of water is so vast that it could supply fresh water to the entire planet for several years. This incredible lake is also home to unique species of animals and plants that can't be found anywhere else in the world. Lake Baikal is truly a natural treasure. The secret to flight: 4 forces that keep a plane in the air. A plane's flight isn't just about its wings. In reality, there are 4 forces at work: lift, thrust, drag, and gravity. Lift keeps the plane in the air thanks to the wings. Thrust propels the plane forward through its engines. Drag resists the plane's motion, and gravity pulls it down. These forces work together to maintain stable flight, like a well-choreographed dance where each force has its role. Understanding these forces can make the marvel of flight even more fascinating. What do you think makes Angkor Wat not just a temple, but a whole civilization? Angkor Wat in Cambodia is not only the largest religious complex in the world, but also a symbol of a great civilization that left a profound mark on history. Built in the 12th century, this temple remains an important cultural and religious center. Angkor Wat captivates not only with its size and architectural beauty, but also with its wealth of sculptures, bas reliefs, and remarkable temple structures that tell the story of the prosperity of the Khmer Empire. Did you know the Nile is the longest river in the world? The Nile River, which stretches approximately 6,650 kilometers, passes through 11 countries in northeastern Africa. These countries, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda, depend on the Nile for their economies, cultures, and ecosystems. The Nile is not only a lifeline for millions of people, but also a witness to ancient history spanning millennia. Did you know that Plitvice Lakes in Croatia are a true natural maze? The Plitvice Lakes consist of 16 individual bodies of water set in a unique natural landscape, interconnected by waterfalls and streams. These lakes are located within the eponymous National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Plitvice Lakes are not only a stunning natural beauty, but also an example of how nature can create a perfect destination for tourism and relaxation. The story of ink saving. How a period saved a newspaper thousands of dollars. How important do you think a tiny change in logo design could be? In 1967, the New York Times decided to remove the period at the end of its name. This decision wasn't driven by aesthetics, but by savings. The newspaper calculated that dropping the period could save them a significant amount of ink, around $600 a year, which today equals approximately $6,000. While such an amount may seem insignificant at first for publishers, it became an example of how even the smallest changes can lead to substantial resource savings. Imagine how one small decision could impact the budget of an entire company. Did you know that in Indonesia there is a temple on a rock that connects nature and spirituality? Tanah Lot in Indonesia is an exotic rock surrounded by the ocean, topped by an ancient temple. This iconic site, located on the coast of Bali, has become a symbol of the island's culture and spirituality. Every year, thousands of tourists come here to witness the waves crashing against the rock, creating a unique natural spectacle. The temple built on this natural monument is an important religious and cultural site for the local community. Why is there a village in China where nearly everyone lives past 100 years? In the Chinese village of Bama, nearly every other resident lives to be 100 years old or more. Scientists believe it's due to the clean air, mineral-rich water, and a diet rich in local herbs and vegetables. The locals also lead active lives, working physically well into old age. Tourists come here hoping to learn the secrets of longevity, but the villagers say the key is harmony with nature and a positive outlook. Why has Antelope Canyon become a true mecca for photographers? Antelope Canyon in Arizona is one of the most visited and photographed natural sites in the United States. This narrow slot canyon features stunning light effects and shadow play, attracting travelers and professional photographers from around the world. The canyon boasts a pronounced wavy structure and extraordinary colors that shift depending on the time of day and the angle of light. Accessing the canyon requires a special permit, as it is located on Native American land. Imagine for a moment that Machu Picchu is not just ruins, but a symbol of Inca greatness. Nestled high in the Peruvian mountains, Machu Picchu is one of the most famous historical sites in the world. Built by the Incas in the 15th century, this remarkable city was abandoned and forgotten for centuries until its rediscovery in 1911. Machu Picchu has since become a symbol of the great Inca civilization and one of the most important archaeological sites in South America. Can you imagine that the Tianzi Mountains in China inspired fantasy films? Located in Hunan province, the Tianzi Mountains are famous for their unique peaks that seem to have grown out of the earth, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of scenes from science fiction movies. These mountains served as inspiration for the creators of the film Avatar and are considered one of China's most incredible natural wonders. For tourists, cable cars have been built that provide breathtaking views of these peculiar rock formations. Did you know that the resolution of the human eye surpasses any camera? Our eyes can distinguish up to 10 million shades of color with such incredible clarity that no modern camera can compare. Imagine this. The human eye has a resolution of 576 megapixels. This is far beyond even the best photographic technologies available today. We all love high-resolution screens, but we often forget that our own eyes already provide us with the perfect visual experience. And the best part, it's completely free.